Hello, BookTube. This is a shelf tour, bookcase number 7, the fifth and final shelf. So let's get right to it. Excuse me. This is James L. Nelson, writer I enjoy very much. His histories are as good as his nautical fiction. And this is the Revolution at Sea series, book 1 by Force of Arms. And this is a pocket books edition from 1996. This is the first novel of a new historical naval adventure series, Revolution at Sea, blending a seasoned mariner's expertise, a historian's attention to period detail, and a natural storyteller's gift for creating casts of vivid characters. James L. Nelson brings to dazzling life a never-before-seen side of America's war for independence. Here's a conflict from the seaman's view, full of the sights, sounds, and sensations of the ocean. Wonderful series. This is the second volume in that series, which is the maddest idea. Again, a pocket books. Then there is The Continental Risque. And that is book 3 by James L. Nelson. Here's a blurb from Patrick O'Brian, which is great if you write nautical fiction to get a blurb from Patrick O'Brian. Nelson writes with the eagerness of a young man sailing his first command. Then we have Lords of the Ocean. And this is my first hardback, but it's still a pocket books. And this one is 1999. And then finally, All the Brave Fellows, again a pocket books edition. And this is book 5, The Revolution at Sea saga. And this was 2000. So then moving right along with Mr. Nelson, this is The Guard Ship. And this is, let's see here, book 1 of The Brethren of the Coast. And this is from 2000. The coasts of the colonial Americas are fraught with many perils. Its sea lanes a hunting ground for bloodthirsty predators who brazenly flew the black flag. Only the most courageous or desperate or foolhardy would dare take sail in those early years. For he who ventured upon the waves would have to contend with the basest greed and savagery of cold-hearted men and submit to the merciless cruelties of unpredictable waters. And then he did a Civil War book. Excuse me. Thieves of Mercy, James L. Nelson. Novel of the Civil War at Sea. And this was William Morrow's. And this came out in 2005. And there's the author. Lives up in Maine. And he's really sailed, so he knows his business. And like I say, he's a really good historian too. Then this next series I just found, I have not read. I found it in a pretty nice edition by Edward Klein. And it's a series called Sparrowhawk. So I can't really tell you much about it, except for this, it's about the American Revolution. Here's book 1, and it looks like it says Jack Freight. The print's a little hard to read. Yep. So here's what that looks like. And there's the cover. Found these all together. 2001. And Mr. Klein is written some other stuff. There he is. So I can't really say much about him. So there's book 2 here. And the print they're using on the front is hard to read. So this is Hugh Kenrick. Book 3, it looks like it says Caxton. Book 4 is Empire. 5 is Revolution. And 6 is War. So if anybody's read these, I'd love to hear about them. Like I say, I've picked them up because they looked interesting. I don't know the author, and I have not gotten to them yet. So there's a series with potential, we hope. This next series I have read, absolutely enjoy. I found these down in Florida. I actually met the author at a little bookstore down in Cape Coral, Florida once. And these are Civil War nautical fiction. And the author, Robert N. McComber, has written a really nice series here. And the publisher is Pineapple Press. And they've done a really nice edition, a physical book. I don't know if there's a lot more in this series. I only got them while I was down there. So, but what I've read so far I really like. So At the Edge of Honor, that's the first one. It's 1863. The Civil War is leaving its bloody trail across the nation as Peter Wake, born and bred in the snowy north, joins the U.S. Navy as a volunteer officer and arrives in steamy Florida for duty with the East Gulf Blockading Squadron. So, so this one's signed, Bon Voyage with Peter Wake, signed by the author, Robert McComber. So it's Pineapple Press, Sarasota, Florida, 2002. Like I say, the editions are really, really nicely done. Well, there's a picture of the author there. The next one I have is Point of Honor, again autographed, and it's Pineapple Press, Sarasota, Florida, 2003. Then Honorable Mention, and that one is here's a nice little chart there, and another one. Continuing Exploits of Lieutenant Peter Wake, United States Navy, Pineapple Press again, 2004. Then A Dishonorable Few. Let's see, Pineapple Press, Sarasota, 2005. And we get An Affair of Honor. And this one is the fifth novel in the Lieutenant Peter Wake series. And this is from 2006. And then the final one I have, and like I say, I don't know if there's many more or not. One would hope so. A Different Kind of Honor by Robert N. McComber. And this is Lieutenant Commander Peter Wake, so he's gotten promoted here a few times. Pineapple Press Incorporated, Sarasota, Florida, 2007. Well, excellent series and that's as far as I've gotten in it. And if I see so the next one is Homer Hickam, The Ambassador's Son. This is about Coast Guard in World War II. It's 2005 by Thomas Dunn Books, an imprint of St. Martin's Press. Quite a good author. Some of you remember the October Sky. That was, I think, a movie. There's the author. So a good volume. There's more in this series. I have not read them, and nor have I run into them, but I'd like to. Then we have Richard Woodman, Baltic Mission and Napoleonic Adventure. Mr. Woodman's written quite a few books, and I have not read that. They've been around for a while. This is Walker and Company, New York, and this is from 1986. And he's another author I wouldn't mind running into a bit more. Sometimes these volumes, I think, must be easier to find in Britain. About the author. The authentic atmosphere of Richard Woodman's seafaring adventures is a result of his many years as a working seaman. His record of service began as an indentured midshipman, later including the post of navigator and junior officer on cargo liners and weather research ships. In 1967, he joined the Trinity House service, commanding lighthouse tenders and a squadron of guard ships in the English Channel. He won the 1978 Barbara Harmer Award for historical work, The Keepers of the Sea. And he's one of those names you hear about all the time if you're into nautical fiction. And like I say, I haven't read as much of his as I would like. And I'd really like to run into some of his nonfiction. And then finally, to wrap up this seventh bookcase, is Brian Callison, A Flock of Ships. This was published by G.P. Putnam and Sons, New York, first American edition, 1970. In the great tradition of exciting novels of the sea, here's a gripping story of the mysterious disappearance of a convoy of ships during World War II. And it was a good novel. So that ends it with that bookcase. Some nautical non-fiction, but a good portion of it was fiction. And thank you, BookTube.